Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Pigskin Platoon. My name's Christian.
Nice, Boston.
Our Dynasty Podcast is going to cover over anything with defense and offense, and we're going to talk about any kind of news, breaking news for the future, and um, anything to do with it comes like the NFL draft as well, or trade rumors. We'd love to talk about those as well. So today's topic that we want to talk about, we want to get started with just the defense rookies this year. I know that we haven't gotten to the draft yet, but we want to kind of get the leg on it and kind of get the feel of who to watch for up until the draft, and then we kind of fluctuate who these guys go to. Um, And when that happens, then we'll definitely make more videos, obviously, to get us ready for dynasty drafts that happen right before the season starts. And then we'll have a bigger picture, knowing who we want on our team and on who the NFL wants on their teams. So, Boston, do you want to go ahead and get started on your your starting players? What you think is the top tier for you?
So number one tier guy that I got linebacker, we got David Bailey. He's they got him in the top five in the first round coming out. Top tier pass rusher coverage guy. He's got 163 total tackles with 29 sacks. So 10 forced fumbles coming out with that guy. So I would say based on the way he is, man, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Micah Parsons, to where he likes to line up as a linebacker and kind of come up on the edge and get some sacks out of him.
Heck
He
yeah.
got me excited to see how he's going to do.
Very good. Yeah. No, he definitely surprised me a lot too in his highlights. I definitely liked him in college as well. Very explosive, elite IQ. He's definitely going to make an impact wherever he goes.
So I'm the tier one guy. He's an edge. He's kind of not necessarily somebody I think people are looking at, but TJ Parker, to me, he's really well rounded. Good pass rusher. He's got 22 sacks. He's a run stop guy, 127 total tackles. So I love that because he's getting in on those plays, man. I think that's going to be really good for him. Um, Good on his 40, with a 4.68 on his 40 with him. So I'm excited to see what he does with whoever he lands with. But yeah, that one, he's somebody that's piqued my interest. I definitely take, I don't know, I take him over Bane, but
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely like TJ Parker too. He's definitely a versatile edge.
Mhm.
He could play on in my opinion, he could play on either side. Um, and still come up with some, really good solid tackles or turnovers. And that's why he's, ranked, definitely in the top 32 players that are, projected to come into the first round. Um, I think as soon as he gets in, he's definitely going to probably show what he's made of. Um, I definitely liked his combine. Yeah, his 40-yard dash was a little slow, kind of like in the B range. But I don't think that's really going to affect him too much from his play abilities that he showed in college.
So they got him shown at about mid first round draft pick.
Hmm.
I think he could probably go a little higher than that, but I don't know for like a landing spot for him. I mean, we got a lot of guys that really need to work defense this year. For edge guys, I mean, you got the Chiefs that got they kind of hit and miss with Chris Jones right now, so I don't know. I mean, Chris Jones is still a pretty solid edge guy, but he is getting up there in age. He'd be a good replacement there. Titans, Giants, and Saints are also looking for a good edge guy. But to see TJ Parker, he'll probably really shine with that Steve Spagnuolo defense coming in with the Chiefs would be a really good landing spot, if you
Y-
ask me, for him.
Yeah, yeah. There's a good handful of teams that definitely need someone like him. He kind of, with his lack of speed a little bit, kind of shockingly, um, kind of reminds me of a little bit of like a Michael Bennett in a way, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Even when he played for the Cowboys as well, especially with the Seahawks, he does have that explosive ability for sure. Um, he's definitely going to make an impact. Depending on how this draft works, we definitely have some time still before that happens. Could be some trades that happen where someone might move into the first round and they might be seeing him and they might try to grab him before someone else does.
Mhm. I think the big thing is just watching some of his tape, man, his ability to use his hands and to get to push these offensive line guys around. Pretty crazy to see. So,
Yeah. Um, who is your last but not least, your third guy? I know it's kind of hard a little bit picking through these guys, but who's your last like top third three guy?
so yeah, for my DB, you got Colton Hood sitting here. He's got his QB rating when targeted, he's a 66% completion rate against him. He's good in coverage. He's got 3 interceptions. It's kind of low, but man, like his stats throughout man, um, and zone and stuff, he's done really good. Slot guys, he's good, really good with covering. He's a good tackler too. So he's got 77 total tackles and 57 solos on him. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole, in my opinion, too, there's not a whole lot of like surprising, wowing safeties, but this guy, he's kind of came up on the scene a little bit as of late, and was showing up at the combine.
mhm,
His combine record was pretty solid for to show up at a corner level. Um,
mhm.
yeah, his 40-yard dash, is been on the slow side, but that's okay. Like he could be more on the slot corners, covering those, slot receivers a lot. If he's as good, as he was in college, his IQ is really good.
He got him showing what late first round draft pick for him. Not 100% sure where he would land with that. Like I see him going to Seattle, and Rams are looking for a good CB there, a good cornerback.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, with us, even with us letting go of Reek Woolen,
Mm.
um, we need someone to kind of like help Witherspoon on the other side. We definitely need to look into another corner for the draft or a safety in the draft. And there's like I said, there's not a whole lot, but there's a couple little gems in there that we're gonna keep our eye on. And definitely Colton Hood is one of those guys, even though he's only been in the college for, he's only a sophomore, so not very long to really prove himself. But with what he has, and if he's ranked this high for a corner in the draft, there's something there for him. Absolutely.
So, like, real quick, go back to like David Bailey, the linebacker there.
Hmm.
Some of the guys that like stick out for like landing spots for him, in particular, would be I can see the Titans picking him up just to help. 'Cause I think Cam Ward's a defense away from being really solid quarterback. Well, yeah, and then Giants wouldn't be too bad then. I could see him going there.
Yeah, yeah. David Bailey has really been looking really impressive to me. I mean, with that size, that reach that he has,
Mhm.
um, there there's no arguing the fact of him being in the top five, top 10. players coming into this year's draft. Um, his speed his is remarkable when it comes to being at that edge to linebacker position. Um, 4.50. That's a good speed for an edge. And his coverage is really good. He knows where the ball's going to be. So every time I've seen him in his highlights, he's right there. He's on it. Yeah, so I got my top corner that I like a lot is Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson from San Diego State. The 40 ran, he got a 4.4 um, B range, nothing nothing too crazy, but he's a clean tackler. In college, he had a total of 6 interceptions. He had 104 solo tackles, five forced fumbles. 2025, he had 146 yards in total of his interception. Um, he had a really nice at the combine. He had a good jump rating at 106 or 126%, which is really, really nice. So he's got that reach, like I said.
Mhm.
Um, my other guy that I got at player number two, I got Sony Styles. I mean, the dude is just he's everywhere. On tape, he is he's in my opinion, he's like a cheat code. I mean, the dude is just everywhere. He knows where that ball's going to be at. He reads that offense really nice. Coming out of Ohio State, he ran at the combine a 4.46. Um, he reminds me of like a Jahad Campbell. Um, just that IQ that he has, he really shows up when his team needs him the most. He had a total in his college career. He had 132 tackles. He had three forced fumbles, 9 sacks, and one interception. Like I said, great, great IQ. Um, really stood out to me a lot. And then I got player number three. Kind of a small stretch. He's kind of like my top tier slash sleeper. I've really started to like this guy a lot. Cassius Howell, from Texas A&M, ran a 4.59. Really good at getting at the QB. Really good at his football IQ. Elite pass rusher. He kind of actually reminds me a bit like Micah Parsons a bit. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I can definitely see a bit of a Micah in him, and a little bit more like an Arnold Ebiketie type play style. Um, he's going in the late first, and then with him being in the first alone, says a lot about what kind of a player he is. He had a really good combine, really good in college. He had 72 total tackles. Um, he had three forced fumbles. He had 28 sacks in college. He had one interception in the last 2 years. So I mean, like he doesn't wow turning the ball over a lot, but those sacks really added up for him, and that's where I really like when a edge rusher can just get to the ball or get to the quarterback as fast as possible, and that's where I think that kind of leans into that whole Micah Parsons mentality.
Yeah, we see that. We see that.
I would I would kind of like to see him make it to the Bucks. That'd be a really cool landing spot for him. They need someone to
Mhm.
kind of get to the quarterback as quickly as possible. I know they kind of had a little bit of a struggle doing that this year, but if they can get someone like him, that'll definitely bolster that defense and maybe even get them more into a playoff contentions, which I think they should have gotten there last year, but someone like this guy, I think he can definitely help if he lands with a team like the Bucks.
Yeah.
All right. So who's your upside for tier number two?
Real quick on Cassius there.
Uh-huh.
So Bills would be a good one for him because you can aging Joey Bosa sitting there that they could really use. And they're making trades for wide receivers now, so probably not too big of an issue for those guys.
Hmm. Yeah.
And with Josh Allen's gonna be just like Patrick Mahomes, just make about any wide receiver shine if he can with a little bit of talent there. So, but that's gonna be really interesting. And then I mean, who wouldn't want to be behind Joey Bosa for an edge rusher? So
Yes, I mean like someone like him to be as good as he is going possibly in the first round, um, and then sitting behind an elite veteran, um, that would be incredible.
would
I
be.
think that that would be something, some of these teams should look at. It definitely shows, especially even for a quarterback position,
Mhm.
sitting behind a veteran really kind of helps get the rookies to a point where they can read the playbook really well and be ready for when it's their turn.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate some teams don't do it, but I think if a lot of teams do, I know a lot of teams are kind of desperate at times and they need someone like that and they need them to
Mhm.
start right away, but it's not always that case.
Mhm. But for dynasty purposes, man, being able to hold on to a guy for a couple of years and having him develop and then really turn into something
Yeah,
can be really good.
absolutely.
Tier two guys that I got sitting here, Ruben Dane Jr. No, he's really high on everything, and like rightfully so. Watch tape on him. I was super impressed to just see his like get after. He doesn't let guys get behind him. He's still going at him. He did get one interception, I believe, this year, and that was just because he didn't stay off of him. He kept going. Got the interception. Got a 12 yards return for that one, and man, he's definitely got that dog in him, man. He's not somebody that's gonna back off too much.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely versatile for sure. I mean, the guy has a lot of heart out there and you can see it. You can 100% see it in that kid. Um, being that versatile, being on whichever position they need you to be on, says a lot for what kind of a player he is and what it shows for a coach. If he can manage to be on either side, that's going to be scary for a lot of offensive lines coming into in the next year. Not knowing which way he's going to line up on.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, watching his combine, he was a little on the slower end. But again, like I said before, if you can show that you're that dog, then
hmm,
the speed is not like a huge concern. I think he shows a lot more of every other ability than maybe the speed wise, and that's where probably he can get into that quarterback and get those sacks if he can get through that line a lot quicker, which I definitely believe he can.
yeah. He's got really good first step quickness. Um, Real separation, trying to help out against those tackles, man. He's getting off that ball faster than they can really react.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, his 40 was slow. He had a 4.72 on his 40. He 22 sacks, pass rusher, 22 sacks. Um, he's a pretty run stopper. He's got 121 tackles last year, or within his career, though. I just, like I was saying, I just love his motivation. He just doesn't give up on the ball. Um, Landing spots for him, I'm not sure. I got him designated top five. within the first five. Um, Everybody, I hear a lot of mock drafts. They're talking like the Chiefs are going to pick him up. But they got Titans and Giants that I think are probably a little bit more desperate on that. Probably Titans a little more than Giants because I think Giants got an okay defense. They just need to bolster it a little bit, get better. And yeah, or Saints, I guess. Saints could probably pick them up,
Yeah,
but
especially with Cameron, Cameron Jordan not really much being there
Mhm.
anymore. He's kind of like petering out a little bit. He would definitely fit right in with the Saints. I know the Saints are building something kind of quiet. Maybe in the next year or two, I think the Saints can be a team that you're gonna want to watch out for. Um, they he kind of reminds me of like a Will Anderson in a way. He's got that ability to like get to the quarterback very quickly. Um, Even with his speed, it kind of makes it look like an illusion almost. But George Karlaftis, kind of like that category. I can see him
yeah.
landing. Yeah, I can see him definitely landing. Maybe, like you said, the Saints, Titans. I even think that he might even be someone that the Jets might be looking at
Yeah.
because I know they need someone on that front line.
My number two guy, he's a linebacker. He's got Anthony Hill Jr. He's a great tackler. He has 250 total tackles with about half of them being assists. So it means he's getting on these guys as fast as he can. He has 17 sacks. He's a big threat for running backs that are coming his way. So that's going to be really good. He's to say he's pretty good. Um, no, what was his 40 time was 4.51. He's up in the 93 percentage there with those guys. He's a good multi-role linebacker. So yeah, he's a good downhill guy. Like, he runs downhill with violence. So it's good to see. I see that for a linebacker.
Yeah. You remember that small time period with Chad Muma on Jacksonville?
Hmm.
Yeah, he kind of he had like he kind of almost was like he's kind of here, kind of not. But with this guy, Anthony Hill, he's like he kind of reminds me of a little bit of him on that 1 year, in my opinion, where Chad
Hmm.
was like just he was looking really good. But he's another one of those guys that's kind of like him, but he's got that IQ like Jack or Jahad Campbell. So yeah, I think got the IQ like Jahad Campbell, and
Hmm.
I think he will definitely be a solid. It looks like he's projected in the early second. He might even push into the first, and surprise us. He'd be a good
Think
one,
about it.
in my opinion, that might land with like maybe Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville kind of needs someone like that.
Mhm. See, I had some Viking written down here, so I don't know.
I think the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah, I can see them.
I guess same with the
So
Vikings.
the other guy, cannot pronounce his last name to save my life. It's Dylan. It's safety out of Ohio, or out of Oregon State. Thilensman. I can't say that. Don't know how to pronounce that. He's a safety, man. He's pretty good. He's a good coverage safety. He's really good at coverage. His tackles are pretty good. They got him going early second round. Some more puts at the beginning though. I like a lot of that. I like safeties that get after the ball like that.
Hmm.
Um, he's got eight interceptions. He's got 302 total points in his time there, in his time in college. Yeah, 3 years in college, he's done really good.
Hmm.
Um, another a good landing spot for him, in my opinion, is going to be maybe Dolphins, Cowboys. Might be looking at somebody like that. Cowboys can always use a little more defense.
Yeah. Yeah, Dylan really showed up at the combine. I mean, he wowed me, hitting a 4.35. Like that's impressive for a safety. I always loved fast and hard hitting safeties. Um,
Hmm.
he definitely shows that power and that speed. He kind of reminds me of like a little bit of like an Earl Thomas in a way,
Yeah.
or Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
That type of mentality, speed and quickness that he's got, and he's definitely got that zone coverage down pat. I mean, the dude
Mhm.
can read an offense, and that's what I think that he might be a top pick going into uh early second round, maybe even first as well. Some of these guys that are saying early, I I would not be surprised if they would make it into the late first. Tier two, I got D'Angelo Pons, another safety, or sorry, excuse me, another corner that I really liked coming out of Indiana. Ran a 4.35. He's got elite speed. Um, Same as Dylan Thieneman. I really think he's going to be an elite. He's got elite man coverage, zone press. He had 111 solo tackles in all of his college career. One forced fumble, seven total interceptions, and two return touchdowns in his career. Dude is like on point. I mean, the dude is a lurker for sure. Um, they're saying he's mid second round, but he could go early second in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised about that. And my other guy that I have here, player number five, I have your boy, Jacob Rodriguez. Texas Tech. Ran a 4.57 solid speed. I mean, dude's got solid speed for as big as he is. He's really nice. They're predicting him in the third round though. I don't know why. I think he's gonna be someone that a lot of people are gonna sleep on, and he's gonna prove everyone wrong. He's got the nose for the ball. He reminds me personally, even though I'm a Seahawks fan, but Drake Thomas, and I really like Drake Thomas. Really kind of a lot of people slept on, and I actually picked him up on free agency before anybody knew about him. And when Drake Thomas was on my team, he started going off for me. So that's another thing that I want to shout out for Drake, kind of helping me through my defense when I lost Micah Parsons too, as well. Very underrated, hard hitter, very hard hitter. He can play different positions of linebacker, very multiversal. 181 total solo tackles in his whole career in college. 13 forced fumbles, 6 sacks. In the last 2 years of college. Last 3 years, he totally had of 6 interceptions. His best year was in 2025. I mean, wow. This guy's going to be a problem. I mean, he's going to be a problem anywhere he goes. He's going to be a one-man wrecking machine.
Mm.
He also, I don't know if you saw some of the little bit of highlights, but he actually did a little bit of offense play too. So he kind of knows that offensive scheme as well, which is really nice to have for a linebacker, to read those positions. And then I had a sixth player kind of come in pretty late. Is Nadame Tucker. He ran a 4.73, so a lot lower on the slower end. It's okay. It's okay. Western Michigan. He had 33 solo tackles, four forced fumbles, and 15 sacks.
So Nadame Tucker, he's a defensive end out of Western Michigan, right?
Yeah, so he actually had 15 sacks in his 2025. So yeah, his first full career start, he had 15 sacks. Absolute dog. I mean, yes, he comes out of a smaller school, but if someone can shoot a shot on him, he kind of reminds me of that Michael Bennett style, very very good at breaking through that O line and getting after that quarterback. Um, yeah, I think he's a guy that might be slept on just because he's on a smaller school, and a lot of these guys come up from a lot of smaller schools and they show up pretty well and become elite. So who's your sleepers real fast?
So I got in my sleepers. I got Bryce, both Bulletcher. So Bryce is a linebacker. I really like a lot of his numbers. He man, where was his numbers? He got his numbers. He got 269 total tackles. He got nine um pass deflections, four sacks, four forced fumbles, and he's got two INTs in his career there in Oregon. I'm really impressed with how he's going to do, and I look forward to seeing how he is and where he goes. I'm really excited about to see what we're looking at for him when in the fifth. You got him in the fifth. I think he's probably a little underrated. His tackle ability is pretty good. His pass rush, he could use some improvement. Run defense is good. His coverage is good. Um, he ran a 4.7 flat for his 40. Not the best, lower 50 percentage there. And yeah, I think he's somebody that would I think he'd do pretty good. Give him a little bit of time to develop, he'd be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's exceptional. Definitely a worthy of a sleeper pick.
Mm,
Yeah, you're right. His 40-yard dash wasn't what I think or that I thought was going to happen. Um, I mean, yeah, it can be worked on. But his strongest suit is definitely his field awareness. The dude
mm,
he's got really good IQ. Um, he's a phenomenal defender when it comes to the run. Like you said, good run stopper. Pass rushing may not be his strongest suit, but definitely when those run plays come in, that's when he's gonna kind of shine. As long as
mm.
they give him the time to be out there on the field, I think he can really show us what he's made of.
Yeah, a little bit of development. I think he'll be amazing.
Yeah, very high motor. I mean, the dude is like go go go. He uh he will make sure he gets those tackles. Kind of reminds
Mhm.
me of Tommy Eichenberg.
Yeah.
Definitely more looking like him, or kind of like I mean, if I want to get a little bit more out there, maybe like more like KJ Wright, or
Mm,
um, some of those other kind of like those B B players. I think that he'd be pretty good. Definitely a sleeper for sure.
for sure, for sure.
So that's your secret right there, your secret weapon, just in case, you know.
Mhm.
Um, from my sleeper, I did a little bit of digging. And there's a guy that kind of stood out to me. He did a really good combine when it came to his 40-yard dash. Trey Moore, is linebacker slash edge, came out of Texas. He's got a signature spin move, is what people have talked about and what he shows. He's got lightning speed at a 4.54 for his position.
Mm,
Um, I I think he's very explosive. He's got an IQ. Um, I think that with the right system, I think that dude can definitely be like another Montez Sweat. Um, Definitely, maybe like a Commanders might get him, but
mm.
he's projected to go pretty late. He's looking at around like the sixth round,
Yeah.
even possibly the seventh round. Um, That's my biggest dig that I got.
Mhm.
I mean, the guy, I mean, I like him. You know, who knows? He might even go a little bit sooner. Look at the Patriots sometimes. Back in the day, they surprised us with some of those picks where we thought that they were going to go with someone, and then they were like, they got someone out of a small school, and we were like, who the heck? So yeah, I'm shooting for the fences on this guy, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But another guy that I do have, and he's kind of been my secret horse here. Um, he is Matt or Lander Barton.
Pretty good. His 40 was 4.55.
At that speed, he's averaging like about the sixth round. Definitely
Mhm.
reminds me of the IQ of Pete Warner. His college performance, he had 100 solo tackles, three forced fumbles. Unfortunately there was no fumbles that he was able to create in 2025, but in total he had 9 sacks and he's had five interceptions. So very high IQ, and in total he had 2 touchdowns as well. Yeah, I think he's another guy that I'm kind of sitting back and just kind of like,
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe something, maybe something's here with this guy. Um, and he's related to Cody Barton on the Tennessee Titans.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah,
Not many crazy place from the land.
imagine the duo Barton brothers
Mhm.
on that guy. That kind of has a ring to it, But yeah, like I mean, the dude is 6'5". I mean, holy smokes, with that speed, 6'5" coming at you, like you might as well just take a knee.
Mhm.
Just take a knee where you're going. That's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. So looking at a little bit of the scouting reports on him in particular, he's side to side range is a plus. So he's got really good wheels. He's fast for a line for him. And I feel he's really dominant in short area quickness there. So
Yeah, definitely a guy to watch out for. Definitely when we talk about these uh, dynasty picks, definitely want to keep an eye out, guys. On some of these players. You might hit, you may not, but that's the fun part about dynasty. Is never know what you're gonna get.
no, you don't, man.
Never know what you're gonna get until it hits, and then that's when it's like a bittersweet. All right, so just wanted to do a quick shout out, right? On the rookie sack leaders this year.
Mhm.
Um, we had two ties from what it looks like. We had David Bailey out of Stanford and then Dame Tucker that we just
Mhm.
talked about from West Michigan. Tied for the most sacks at recording 14 and a half sacks. Wow.
It's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
I think Nadal kind of
That
surprises me for a guy with 1 year worth of experience. I think getting him in a good situation, I think he's gonna be elite when he gets out there.
and the fact that he's
15
lined
sacks.
up with. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
What was it? 14 sacks for 1 year.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's nothing but up from here, I would say.
Yeah. He's got a lot to, he's got a lot of, steps to climb to show
Mhm.
that he's out there, on the field, showing what he's got. But the fact that he's like tied with David Bailey is insane. Like, and then we're talking about
Mhm.
David Bailey going in like the fifth pick, or the top five,
Yeah.
top 10. Um, impressive from Ndambe Tucker. And then we had another tie between Anthony Smith from Minnesota and
Mhm.
excuse me if I mispronounce this, but Akeem Misador. out of Miami, recorded 12 and a half sacks for the two of them. So yeah, that was pretty impressive college careers for these guys,
Mm.
tying with each other. Um, yeah, just wanted to do a quick shout out on those guys. And then so when it comes to dynasty picks now, um, who are you like if it was you right now, what would you go for in your draft picks?
Kind of a toss-up. I mean, two guys. I think I'd take David Bailey a little bit more, but it'd be between him and TJ Parker. I think would be really two solid guys. I like Parker's kind of rounded, how well rounded he is, but David Bailey's ability to play not only a linebacker in coverage, but really good. Gets you pulls. So
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, those are some tough dudes. Definitely get some good picks. My my thing, and I will talk about this right now. I'll throw this out there. When I first started doing dynasties, I had a little birdie at one point tell me, if you're stepping into dynasty, you don't want to think about fantasy. You want to really build a team kind of like Madden. You know, this is what this kind of dynasty is like. You're building an offense and a defense.
mhm.
Um, and one thing that you have to look at is who's going to get the most tackles. And those most tackles are going to be your linebackers. Those are going to be your bread and butter of your defense for dynasty. Um, Edge rushers, it has to be, it has to be like an Aiden Hutchinson or a Miles Garrett. Those are those guys that, or the there's not a lot of those type of guys out there that are going to be consistent as much as those guys are. And I think Will Anderson is kind of stepping into that role of, being in those top tier edge rushers, even though he's classified as an edge rusher slash linebacker. So you can actually switch him between linebacker and edge, which is really nice about Will Anderson. Um, but yeah, so what I got, just uh, looking at it now, I got my picks of David Bailey, just like you. I got David Bailey, Nadame Tucker, he's kind of squeezed in there real fast for me. Just seeing a lot of his highlights, he kind of really showed me a little bit of what it takes to be like being a dynasty pick. I also have Lander Barton. I definitely love his aggression, his size, his build for a linebacker, and his speed. I feel like if he can get on that field, he's gonna light it up. Um, I got another guy. Let's see. I got Trey Moore. Again, I love my Montez Sweat. So with Trey Moore, he kind of reminded me of that, and I like that speed. So Dynasty, I always try to look for, those speedsters that are going to break around the sides or break through the line and get to that quarterback. And that's where you're going to get
Mhm.
a lot of points is getting those sacks from those edge rushers. Um, another guy that I definitely really, really like is Howell. I definitely would love to have him on my team. He's definitely a guy that I've said before, is a dog. He's got that IQ. He's kind of like that Micah Parsons. Um, he will definitely give you the points that you need to save you on some of your weeks if you're desperate for points. And
Mhm.
another guy that you've said too, TJ Parker. I like TJ Parker too. He's a good sleeper. Um, I like his abilities as well. But when it comes to defensive backs, you can't bank on them too much. The better they are, the worse they are in Dynasty. Um, gotta think opposite with these guys. These guys are like, if you really love them, you have to know that for an example, Pat Surtain or AJ Terrell, like these guys are good. These guys are really, really good. I mean, by any means, Pat Surtain is phenomenal. Any
Mhm.
guy that throws it his way, yeah, you're going to get the points, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that learn their lessons. So you might get 2 to 5 points, and that's it. That's all you're going to get
Mhm.
from Pat Surtain. So, you know, going into drafting defensive backs, um, it's more or less you want to look for like safeties when it comes to that
Yeah.
position.
Mhm.
Corners can do it too, but there's only a select few. Just like I talked about when it comes to Aiden Hutchinson or TJ Watt. Well, not TJ Watt, but like more like Miles Garrett. You know, these guys are solidified as the guys that are going to give you points. Um, and a little bit of Will Anderson too. But
Mhm.
so one of the guys that I like that might kind of show up a little bit is D'Angelo Pons. I think he might put up some points. It might take a year. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It might take a year, but he might be a like uh, a bench hold for a little while.
Yeah.
And then one last guy that I got, Red Murdoch. We didn't really talk about him much, but I think Red Murdoch is he's someone to kind of watch a little bit, take a glance, and you know I think he'll be definitely a good start in the future one day. Um,
Mhm.
Kind of like a Drake Thomas. How it took a while for him to come into the scene, but now look at him. He's looking like a he's looking like a starter now.
Yeah. I think like quick shout out to a guy named Jake Kelly. I don't know, maybe reaching a little bit for a linebacker here. I think just looking at his stats here, he's 185 total tackles. He's got what was it, 28 sacks this year, 9 forced fumbles with 2 interceptions. Undrafted, nobody believes anybody's gonna pick him up. He's a guy out of BYU. I think he's gonna do pretty good. Give him the right scheme, give him the right team. I think he'll tear it up this year. I don't think he'll tear it up, but if he gets an opportunity.
Yeah. Just like Red Murdoch, I'd keep him on the taxi squad. Keep
Mhm.
him there and see what he does. Maybe a year from now. Depending on what team he goes to, and that's where we're gonna go to. When it comes to the draft, we'll definitely this list is definitely gonna change a lot. I'm pretty confident in that. Because wherever these guys go, you know, it'll, we might move guys up from our bottom tiers to the top tiers depending on how it
Mhm.
looks, you know. Well,
So,
do you have any other statements or remarks you want to add in, or any other guys that we haven't talked about real fast?
so a little bit about Murdoch here. He what, 362 total tackles, 167 of those were solos. He had 9 sacks, 17 forced fumbles with 1 interception for 31 yards. That's, I mean, wow. That's pretty crazy if you ask me.
Yeah.
17 forced fumbles, man. He's gonna be a wrecking ball for any team that gets him.
Yeah. He didn't do as great as I was kind of hoping for at the combine, but yeah, he needs a lot of work when it comes to speed wise. But, if that's just not what his position really is, that's okay because he shows it out there that he can get them tackles. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think he's definitely a sleeper, for sure. He's definitely got some issues he's got to work on, when it comes to his abilities out there on the field, and hopefully with the right system, just like some of these other guys that we talked about, um, keeping them on your taxi, seeing what they do. Um, just like no one really was talking about Shamir James, that went on the Cowboys, and
Mhm.
I fortunately had him on my taxi squad, and I got pretty desperate, and when injuries came about, uh, he stepped into that role, and he was lighting it up for me. And I was super happy. And then when guys were coming back, they put him back down, and I was like, "What the heck are you doing?" I was like, "I need you. I need these points." But yeah, that's the unfortunate part when it comes to defense. Defense, you don't want to you want to be cautious when it comes to playing dynasty defense. You can't throw all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to defense. Can't be too confident with them because they will they'll put you down. That's for sure. They'll put you down on a pedestal after a few games. You're gonna be like, oh man, shouldn't have went defense heavy in the very beginning. But definitely, there's a lot of guys out there, so uh, don't think that you're gonna miss out on a player because the next Aiden Hutchinson's right around the corner.
Mhm.
Um, you know, if you're starting out on a new league, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of solidified players out there, and then over time, with us talking about these guys each year, hopefully people will take what we say over the time span, and hopefully, over time we'll get a lot more to talk about in these
Mhm.
episodes. So this is only the first episode, guys. We're gonna be around, and we'll definitely over time. If anybody has any comments, we'll definitely try and talk to you guys and help you guys out with any dynasty picks.
I look forward as the season goes and seeing how much our opinions on these guys change. I
Yes.
don't know how right they are. So,
Well, with that being said, do you have any more comments?
nope, I'm pretty much that.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Pigskin Platoon, and we'll catch you on next time. Peace.
Peace.